Welcome into Stirling Community Radio. Today, a surprising fixture where apparently the Scottish Cup has got replays this year. But Stirling host Ross County. That'll be good for the club, bringing in all that ticket revenue. We go live pitch side to our correspondent.
Stirling Albion at home, 69th minute, down 1-0 to the massive club Ross County. Damaraki lines up the set piece, runs up, pings it in. It's headed down. Keeper makes a save. Ball comes up. It falls. It's headed away. It drops. It drops again. Jack Hartness scores. Jack Hartness scores. Dying embers of regular time. 94th minute, Ross County flicks in a corner, but it's collected by Lennox. He's taking his time. Surely that's been 8 seconds. It's headed down. They don't get the first ball. The second ball falls to the midfield of Ross County. Do they have enough time to counterattack? He goes to the corner. Is he wasting time? Louis Selfridge says, I got it. Pings it forward. He's got Ryan Shanley. There's a runner. It's 3v1 in the middle of the park, but he holds up play because he's a deep lying forward. There are now 2 runners. Far post. There's another set of runners. Stirling, dying moments of the game. He goes way too far. Cuts it back. Selfridge. Jack Hartness heads it down. Carr scores! Carr scores! Stirling Albion is up 2-1. 95th minute. There's only 4 minutes added on. Referee. So yes, my friends, in a replay, which the Scottish Cup hasn't had since the 22-23 season, that's another thing wrong in FM, but we drew with Ross County away, and then we got to host them, so gate receipt money, welcome in. They had 23 shots, 10 on target. Aaron Lennox stood on his head on a 7.3, and we get the winner in the dying moments of the game, and we've drawn St. Johnstone to play once we get into 2026. An unbelievable result. More on that soon. But it's not been all good news because Alan Damaraki and his manager from Norwich are unhappy, devastated that we've not played him in the deep line playmaker role, which seems a bit odd to me because we've almost exclusively played him there. Obviously, these are not us. That's when he's with the under 21s and under 18s for Norwich. But he played the first, I think it's 9 games. One of those games in a box-to-box midfielder. Okay, to be fair. So 8 games. And then only in 4 games has he played as a midfield playmaker, which I'd also point out he's playing better in. Our youth intake preview is also pretty horrific with no one rated higher than a C. And of course, 3 of them are fullbacks and we don't use fullbacks. And our lad Jack has done his knee, sprained knee ligaments, not anything more aggressive than that, but he's out for another 4 weeks, and it was after he put in a lovely cross for Ross Cunningham to head home where we equalized with Spartans. It's the middle of December, which means it's time to start signing players for next season, which seems wild, but if you get under 6 months, you can and will lose players to free contract moves elsewhere. That also means there's an opportunity to enhance your squad as you move throughout the spring part of the season. But I've always looked at lower league as like, we need to keep a core foundation in place because otherwise you risk too much that your really good players leave and you can't attract anybody, especially with how FM26 is working right now or not. And to that end, everybody that I have highlighted on the screen has signed a new deal under my management. At the bottom here, we've got Jack Hartness, we all know and love. He's already on that deal until the end of 2027. We've got Ryan Shanley has signed a 1-year extension. He's not exceptionally wowed me. He's got 9 goals in 23 appearances, but he's a 3-star with 4-star potential. He's good enough for our level. Sam Denham has signed an extension until 2027. Aaron Lennox, who we'd already signed the original deals until 2027. Louis Selfridge, who I brought in on a 1-year deal, I have then extended an additional year. I think he's earned it. Callum Crane has also signed an extension until 2028, which is, I think, rather important. He's got 11 assists in 27 total appearances for us. And then Lee Hamilton, who is our vice captain, but Ross McGeechee is getting up there, and I don't know if Ross is going to be here next season, has also signed a contract until 2028, so it's essentially another 2.5 years. By that point, he'll be 32 going on 33, and that'll probably be the end of his time with us. Popping in real quick, I've got 3 things to discuss with you. 1, there have been a lot of people that have subscribed because of episode 1, even like a little bit longer after episode 1 came out. So if you're new here, hi, say hi in the comments. 2, I haven't been putting out content every day because honestly, I'm struggling with FM26. The patch from last week has broken more things in my game than I had previously, so I'm kind of slow playing it to see if they can get it to a better spot later this week. The main thing I'm concerned about is the coefficients. They were supposed to be fixed. It's in the patch notes that it's fixed. They're not fixed. Somebody has put a bug report on the forum, and actually I will put a link in the description of it, where coefficients are now, theoretically, at least being displayed as subtracting rather than adding. So in a Build a Nation series, you need those club and nation coefficients to be accurate, so I need them to fix that. And third, definitely not least, I don't have any skits for you today because both of my kids have been pretty sick this week with some sort of virus. I have been a little bit under the weather, and my wife is running around taking care of everybody, and don't tell anybody. She's Mags. But if you're enjoying content like this, liking, subscribing, commenting, sharing it so that other people get to see it is the best way you can support me. I also want to give a shout out to Wombat V, who is my latest patron. Patreon.com/grayhairgaming is in the description. That's a way to support content you like. Thanks. But if you add back the players that were already on those deals or are on youth deals, what I see is we have a right back, we have a striker with a backup kind of youth prospect striker. We can go get a striker on the market if we need to. We have 1, 2, 3 center backs. Louis Selfridge can't play there in a bind. We have 2 left backs. The problem then becomes the midfield, the number 10, a second really good striker. And when I look at the squad, again, Mackenzie Carse is a phenomenal player. He's already told me our squad is not good enough, and he will not be here. So that's fine. We're just going to play him every game until his legs fall off. Dale Hilson has been good. He's got 6 goals in 16 league appearances, but he's 32, about to be 33 3 days later in game. I just can't justify extending him, especially at the wage that he's at of currently $410 a week. And if I just kind of highlight everybody here, there are some decent players. Chris Eady is on loan from Rangers, so he won't be here. Kyle Banner, I think, as a 2.5 star, despite starting off the season with those 3 goals, is just not worth $350 a week to me, and that is gutting to me because Kyle's been with the squad for quite some time in real life. Corey Thompson's okay. He's a youth prospect. We have a lot of potential, and Ross Cunningham has been all right, but not exceptional. I think we actually might be able to upgrade on Ross going into next season. But again, when you look at the overall squad, the now non-highlighted players, I think we have a foundation, and I'm not as desperate to then go re-sign everybody else. We can kind of see how that plays out. As I noted, I'm doing my best not just to complain about FM, but if you are wondering if you haven't bought the game yet, how's it going? The latest patch from last week, you're seeing this on November 25th, so go back a week ago. That patch has broken more stuff for me. It's unacceptable. The fixture schedule button, the bookmark that they put in the game, no longer takes you to the fixture schedule. This is a screen. It's an old screen that is not the correct screen. It highlights fixture schedule here, but when you go to overview and now go back to fixture schedule, now it's back. It's just, there's so many things. When I recorded the highlights at the beginning part of the game to show you our random, incorrect replay in the Scottish Cup against Ross County, it's playing it on 1.0 speed, which is far too slow, even though I have it set to 1.25 in the game. I'm doing the best that I can. That being said, since you last saw us, we are undefeated in the league, and that includes after having a draw with Ross County away from home, beating them, then at home in the replay that shouldn't exist. That kind of forced our hand from a squad standpoint to where against Stenny, which I think is what we call them in Stirling, we had to have a heavily rotated squad, and they did an admirable job in the Challenge Cup, but they end up losing on penalties. The penalties were horrific. I mean, it was just sad. But you kind of go, of the things, League 2 and getting out of League 2 is by far our number one thing. And a close second, just from a monetary standpoint, is the Scottish Cup. So we rolled the same squad out against Ross County, which means we had to rotate against Stenny. And then we had Spartans, which we did, I think, happily. We got a draw. We'll take that. I've been told in the comments this is Strandrar. I'll do my best there. Let me know if that's correct. But we did get the win there away from home. All 3 goals in the game in the first 12 minutes. So if you showed up late, you missed out. And then we absolutely smashed Clyde 3-0, which was great because our squad was tired and we were kind of able to rotate some guys out in preparation 3 days later to take on East Kilbride. And again, I'm just going to point this out. These are now grayed out. I cannot click them. What are we doing? So maybe I've buried the lead here, but we are currently top of the table because of that. Spartans have dropped down 3 points behind us. East Kilbride are 1 point behind us. So this is a massive, massive game. Also, this schedule is a bit wild to me. This is League 2. We are a semi-professional team. So even if you take away the fact that Ross County replay shouldn't have happened, that is a lot of games in the month of December and then right at the turn of the new year. You go like, what is this, the Premier League? We're playing like every 4 days. What is going on? So we come in today with a mostly full-strength squad. McGeechee is going to take the right wing back, and Kyle Banner is going to take his spot at center back because I have been playing Jack Harkness more like as kind of almost as a starter. But obviously he's out injured, so that requires a little bit of rotation. All right, so as you can see here, or maybe you didn't catch it on the opening screen there, we have moved to a 3 at the back, 2 wing backs, and then the 2 midfielders in possession have been pushed up. I think I hinted at that at one part of an episode previously, but that has worked a lot better, and I'm attributing some of our recent success to that. And it's that we still have the defensive structure with the midfielders dropping into the DM role. But if we happen to win the ball back faster, instead of our 2 midfielders running back and just standing there and being a deep line playmaker and a box-to-box midfielder, they stay a little bit more forward, which makes the counterattack flow a little bit better. As you've seen here, and Dale Hilson, I thought that was offside maybe, has just slotted at home 1 minute and 12 seconds into the match. As if I predicted that. Denham, Damaraki, Cunningham, Hilson, first touch passing, Shanley takes a touch. I guess he was being held on there by 13, and then he slots it home. He said, I heard that you've been handing out contracts, but I haven't gotten one. What's up with that? That is a potentially massive goal in the second minute for us. We've already had 4 shots now on a .74 XG. We are playing positive. We're at home. It's raining again. They said in the last patch from last week that they fixed the rain. I understand Scotland's very rainy, to be very clear, so maybe you shouldn't rely on me to determine if that's actually fixed. We're now into the 15th minute here, building out of the back. Again, he's dropped deep, and I played him, I think, in one other match as a deep line playmaker against, maybe it was against Ross County, I don't remember. And his concerns about playing time in the wrong position went away, flicked off the bar there. We'll see what happens if they recall him in January, because the manager was quite unpleased with me. That would be absolutely devastating, to be honest with you. Okay, we're building up here again, right at the turn of 17 on the clock. Carson's got the ball. He's driving forward. Too heavy of a touch there. Okay, a little bit of pressure. They don't know what to do. It gets quasi-cleared. Maybe he lost it in the lights. Kars picks it up. Damaraki's there, plays it to Cunningham. First time I thought it was a penalty, but Ross Cunningham, it's not unusual. That's what he's doing. He's doing the Carlton, if you don't know what that is. I feel for you, my friends. Up 2-0 early, 18 minutes into the match. They've not had a single shot on target. I wonder if they've had a lot of games. I think it showed that East Kilbride beat Annan Athletic 5-0. It was like one of the shocking results that it talked about in the news. So maybe they've rotated, but you'd think coming up against top of the table in a top of the table clash, right? If they beat us, they jump us in the table. You'd think they would have gone full strength, but who knows? They've added, you see the yellow card there on Miller. It doesn't show up on the main screen, so it's not, I don't think, as useful, but at least you could go, oh, that guy's got a yellow. Really, I think that Football Manager, and I may do a video about this, is just training us actually to be a football manager. You got to use your eyes. That's what the game is all about. All right, immediately after that goes out here, 37:05 on the clock. Lennox plays it forward to Hamilton. He's going to be the foundation. He and Denham are going to be the foundation at the back going into next season. Lovely ball to Hilson, who pings that out wide to Crane. Nobody's there. It was the offside. First ball, a little heavy there. Cuts it back. I thought that was going to deflect in, to be honest with you. We're doing it for Jack. That's what it is. Car's already down to the yellow heart, but he's going to ping in a lovely ball here and collected nicely, you would say, by the keeper there, to be fair. It has been a ton of games. I've done a lot of resting in between games from training, like one day, just to give the lads a break. Although I'm not sure how much good that does you because we're a semi-pro side. So it's like, do they miss the next training or do they just get told, when you're at home, don't be doing your push-ups? You know, like... We're not training every day. That's just not a thing that happens at this level. So at the half, 14 shots, 7 on target with a 1.22 XG. We are on top of them. I have somehow irritated Lee Hamilton, but honestly, what was that? Legitimately, what was that? Am I the only person that saw that highlight? But I told him, like, hey, don't get complacent. There was like 3/4 of the squad loved it, and then I went to the defenders because they didn't really react, and it's like, hey, you're doing all right, but like you can do better. Or not, I didn't say that. I said like, hey, I liked your defensive work, and like that upset other people, so then I went to the upset people. It doesn't matter. Lee Hamilton scored a 3rd goal for us on a yellow. But like, That's just the thing that's broken in this game. But we're going to ignore that for right now because Hamilton has just put in a side kick after a Damaraki set piece that gets headed down. I don't know how much McCarville knew about that. If it just, like, it came over the wall and surprised him and it hit him in the forehead. It is 3-0, my friends, in a massive game here. We could extend our lead at the top of the table if this goes full distance at this scoreline. But Apter cuts in and then pings it long. I will be rotating here because our lads have played a ton of games, and there's more to come. Lennox building out of the back here. It is pouring in Stirling, Forthbank Stadium. The groundskeeper at Stirling used to have a Twitter account or an Instagram account, and then he's no longer with Stirling or Stirling Uni or whoever was in charge of maintaining the ground. His name is Graham Glenn. I miss you, Graham, if you happen to ever watch this. If anybody knows him, because there are some people from Stirling watching. I got chided in the comments because I called it a town and not a city. My apologies. Insult not intended. But if you happen to know Graham, tip my fuzzy hat to him, I guess. My lucky hat. I'm not sure what's happening with this highlight. We're continuing to build. Maybe it'll be bad. There's another Hamilton on the pitch playing a center back. That's interesting. They get it out to a Mackenzie. Plays it back to Robertson. Intercepted. Easy peasy for Cunningham. Gets it to McGeechee. Okay, we need a runner. There's the runner. Kars is the runner. He's going to ping it across. No, he's not. He's going to take a shot, but it's deflected. And Ryan Shanley. It is 4-0, my friends. My goodness. Okay, I was waiting till the 60th minute, or 60 on the clock to sub, and we get a highlight at like 59-58. So let's see what happens here. Ball comes forward. Flanagan driving in. He gets cut off. Cuts it back to McKenzie, who... Is that a Schross? I think that was a Schross. Lennox could and should have done better there. Palms it away, and then it almost falls in. Goodness me. So we're bringing Selfridge on the left wing back, Thompson into that DM spot to take off the tired Kars, and then the young lad, Jacob Fleming, who, training not gone so well, is going to come in for Hilson, because Hilson's old. Sorry, Hilson. Okay, highlight here almost immediately after. 64th minute, Damaraki again with his set piece prowess. It gets pinged away. Fleming taps it down, and then Hamilton, the center back, sends it up and over. Our last two subs are going to be bringing on young Nelson in at that center back, taking the yellow card off. Chris Eady is going to come in at the 10. Let's go, lads. Finish the game off. What a game. If it goes sour from here, I'll be absolutely stunned. They've just taken one back, cut right through us like a hot knife through butter in the 77th minute. Not overly concerned about that. Let's see, is Nelson at fault here? There he is. No, Denham is there. He just runs away from his man or doesn't get ball side. I'm not sure what he's doing there, and that's caused us to concede. I think I will drop us to balance. We don't need to be running so much. Save those legs, lad. We've absolutely smashed them. And you know what? We don't have to do the clean sheet bonus, so, like, saving that money for the club. Thanks. They got the message. They got the message. Edie just played it out wide to Selfridge here. 89th minute on balance. We got a bunch of players in the box. He cuts it forward. Oh, he tried to, like, work the ball in the box, and now we've got 3v1 here. Oh, say can you see is bringing it down. And, oh, what a save from Lennox. I mean, to be fair, maybe his feet could have been set a little bit more. That shot was taken from quite some distance, but he deflects it away. We get, oh, he's still on a 6.7. I thought that would have earned him a 6 point. Oh, he's up to a 6.9. There you go. That's what I was going to say. Headed away. They bring it down again. Maybe goal difference will matter at the end of the season. I'm doubting it. Fleming does what a young lad does and can't control it there. Ball comes back. Nelson's there, but we don't win the second ball, and they've slotted it home. Uzi C. Okay. Fair play. Fair play, mate. There's only... It's like I've seen this movie before. There's only 2 minutes left. Surely we could see the result out, and we can do the classic. That was a real Jekyll and Hyde performance, lads. But it ends 4-2, and I think we're happy with that, to be honest. That takes us to 11 unbeaten. We are 3 points clear now because Spartans won their game, so they've hopped East Kilbride. Really, at the end of the day, yes, do we want to win the league? Of course we do. But I think I'm pretty confident we're going to be currently in the top 3 at least, which at least means we have a shot at getting out of League 2. We've got a slew of games to go play, but St. Johnstone is the club that we've drawn in the Scottish Cup. They're currently second in the championship. Although, to be fair, we did beat Ross County, who are first in the championship. So that will be the next time that you see us. That'll also be kind of in the middle of the January window. I'm not anticipating doing a lot, but you never know. Alan Damaraki could get recalled because the manager's really mad at me. We'll just have to see how that goes.